We're going to continue our work with integers today. We'll practice adding them, subtracting them, multiplying, dividing. Remember now, on these you're to do these without a calculator. I know, a calculator makes things easier. But we're not interested in making things easier. We're interested in making you smarter. Learning how to do these problems, do them accurately, do them quickly without a calculator, that'll make you a stronger math student. Let's review the rules, starting with addition. When you add numbers with the same sign, you add them and keep the sign. When you add numbers with different signs, you subtract them and take the sign of the larger number. Look at number 1. I've got a positive number and a negative number. That's different signs, so subtract them. Take the sign of the larger number. 6 is the larger number and it's positive, so my answer is positive. Let's try that again. Adding. This time, they have the same sign. When you have the same sign, you add them and keep the sign. Add 8 and 1 and keep the sign. When you work your homework assignment, this is what I want you to do. Write the problem down, put the answer underneath it. That's the way to do it. Let's review the rules for subtracting with integers. Subtraction, we like to add the first number to the opposite of the second number. When subtracting two numbers, add the first to the opposite of the second. 5 minus negative 8, that's confusing. So instead, we add the first number to the opposite of the second number. The opposite of a negative 8 is a positive 8. Remember our rule, 2 negatives make a positive? Now 5 plus 8, that's easy. Let's try that again on number 4. When I see 3 subtract 14, I like to add the first number to the opposite of the second number. I like to add the first number to the opposite of the second number. The opposite of 14 is negative 14. Now when I have a positive number and a negative number and I'm adding, I know a positive and a negative, I actually subtract and take the sign off the larger number. Got it. As you get better at subtraction, if you can go straight from here to the answer, that's fine. This middle step is optional. If you can go straight from here and go straight to the answer, that's great. The middle step is optional. I'll put the middle step in for the time being. Eventually, we'll all leave it out. When multiplying and dividing, we remember that 2 negatives make a positive. 1 negative makes your answer negative. Look at number 5. I know 5 times 7 is 35. And when I have 1 negative, my answer is negative. On number 6, 8 times 1 is 8. But 2 negatives make a positive. That's the way I want you to show your work on your homework. Write the problem down, put the answer underneath it. Now 7 and 8 can be confusing. Let's see the difference between the two. When I look at number 7, the 6 is being squared. That's 6 times 6 with a single negative. 6 times 6 is 36. And 1 negative makes your answer negative. 7 and 8 look kind of similar. Here's the difference. In number 8, everything in the parentheses gets counted twice. Negative 6 squared is negative 6 times negative 6. 6 times 6 is 36, but now I have 2 negatives, which make a positive. Again, if you can go straight from here to here, great. This middle part is optional. If you can go straight from here to here, do it. The middle part is optional. Division uses the same rules as multiplication. If you have one negative, your answer is negative. Two negatives make a positive. 15 divided by 5 is 3. One negative makes my answer negative. 28 divided by 4 is 7. Two negatives make a positive. 0 divided by any number other than 0 is just 0 every time. And we know that division by 0 is not allowed. Any number divided by 0 is undefined. All right, let's practice. Why? Because practice makes perfect. This is a good opportunity for you to pause the video and try these problems on your own. Try them, then start the video back up, and I'll work them, and we can compare our answers. In number 1, I'm adding. I've got a negative and a positive. The signs are different, so I subtract. Take the sign off the larger number. Number 2 is subtraction. When we see subtraction, we like to add the first number to the opposite of the second number. What's the opposite of -1 is +1. Now I'm adding. The signs are different, so I subtract and take the sign off the larger number. If you're comfortable going from here to here, and you can get the right answer without showing that middle step, you're allowed to leave that middle step out. In number 3, I'm multiplying. 6 times 2 is 12. And if I have one negative, my answer is negative. Divide. 35 divided by 5 is 7. And 2 negatives, when you divide, make a positive. In number 5, there are no parentheses. So the square is on the 4 only. It's 4 times 4. And this negative gets counted once. 4 times 4 is 16, and one negative is negative. 0 divided by any number other than 0 is just 0. And what do we know about absolute value? Absolute value takes any number and makes it positive. Absolute value takes any number and makes it positive. When you do your homework, here's exactly how I want you to show your work. One more opportunity to practice. Pause the video, try these last 8 problems, and then start the video back up and compare your answers to mine. Number 9 is multiply. 5 times 6 is 30, and 2 negatives make a positive. Number 10 is subtract. When we subtract, we add the first number to the opposite of the second number. The opposite of +7 is -7. Now I'm adding, and when I add and the signs are the same, I add and I keep the sign. Absolute value makes every number positive. Number 12 is division. 40 divided by 10 is 4. And when you divide, one negative is negative. Anytime you divide by 0, you're not allowed to divide by 0. That is automatically undefined. In 14, there are parentheses. That means everything in the parentheses happens twice. -4 in parentheses to the second power means -4 times -4. 4 times 4 is 16, and 2 negatives make a positive. On 15, I'm adding, but the signs are different. If the signs are different, you subtract, take the sign off the larger number. And in 16, absolute value makes everything positive. So the absolute value of -2 is +2. All right, time to do some homework. Work hard. Show your work the right way. I'll see you later on today.